I'd like. Hot mic. It's a hot mic.
Yeah.
The treasurer is handing me money.
No, I'm not. I'm taking it. But I just want to show you that you did. You entrusted me. Unwittingly. I see. Rick has the right idea. It's fluff. It used to be removed
I could. Good morning. I'd like to begin with an apology for those people who came hoping for a nice, quiet, sort of meditative silence in this beautiful sacred space before we started our service, because that didn't happen. Someone, myself, and others came in and were rather boisterous. So it also represents kind of the cheer and a gratitude we have for being here. Also, gee, it's cold. And I'm just wondering if anyone wouldn't want to move up a little bit. I feel a little bit like a math teacher. People sort of huddled in the back. I'm not going to call on any of you. I will not call on you, except Julie. I will definitely call on Julie. Thank you. Welcome to Vashon Island Unitarian Fellowship. As we settle in, we're finding the balance of being and listening, of sharing and singing. My name is Ann Lewis, and I'll be your service leader today. As you know, we are a lay-led community, and that means we're strengthened and enriched by the generous contributions of all of you, our members and friends and cherished volunteers who contribute their time and energy to our fellowship. Thank you to everyone who participates in our beloved community. And that is already evidence around you as you take a minute to look at the beautiful arrangements, decorations, the lovely table, the bountiful table before us. So gratitude for those. Important values we hold close are individual freedom of belief and diversity. We seek to promote a sense of community meant to enrich your spirit. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, whatever your beliefs, whomever you love, and however your life's journey has been, please know that you're welcome here. Also, we want to acknowledge that we are on the traditional homelands of the Squabash people, the native Coast Salish native peoples. The Puyallup and Muckleshoot people have lived on and stewarded these lands since the beginning of time and continue to do so now. We recognize that this land is one small step toward true allyship, and we commit to uplifting their voices, experience, and histories of the indigenous people of this land and beyond. and especially during this month, as a number of, you'll notice, I hope, increasing numbers of acknowledgements, stories, appreciations, and focus are placed on our Native American heritage. Today, on this Sunday, before Thanksgiving, we blend our monthly theme of change and the traditional theme of gratitude. Our technical support is being provided by Catherine Sullivan, and Julie Shannon will share and guide us in an appreciation for change in our lives. Thank you so much. We're meeting in a hybrid fashion, live streaming for those on Zoom. While some of us are in Lewis Hall in person, other members of our beloved community are with us online. While they are not able to participate fully, we hold you in our hearts so that you are still part of our beloved community. If those on Zoom are having difficulty, please reach out to Catherine via the chat, and hopefully she'll be able to help you. Recording will be stopped during our private sessions of sharing joys and concerns. Now, please settle in, take a deep breath. I invite you to set aside your thoughts and experiences of all that has happened this morning before you arrived here. Did you see the sun? Did you appreciate the trees? Did you see some frost on the windows? Are you aware of change? Allow yourself to settle in, to be present for this moment in fellowship. Let's share a moment of silence.
In the beginning, there was darkness, and then there was light. May the light of this chalice change us today, and right now, let it bring light into our beloved community, and may that light grow in each of us, and may we bring that light to change our world.
Thank you. I think Catherine will help us with an opening song. I neglected to acknowledge the artist. That was Tupac Shakur. Kirk, do you have an opening reading for us?
Right here. I'm Kirk Barkman. Pleasure to read this. The passing of time, and with it, change, is not foreboding or promising. It just is. Let us contemplate this. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. Quote from Charles Darwin.
Always nice to start with a quote from a good Unitarian. Julie. Julie Shannon. I don't think I have a formal introduction to our speaker today. Our beloved and respected member.
Do I have qualifications to be here? I experience change. As do you all. So you're all qualified to be here. And as a matter of fact, if you're inspired by some of the stuff that I say, it might bring up things for you. And there is a time towards the end of this where I invite you to come up and share your experience of change and changes that have given you appreciation. Perhaps you're grateful for the change. I know the music of Tupac makes me wish for more change with regard to gun laws. There's a lot going on in our world. Yeah, changes. This is about change and my gratitude for it. Everyone experiences change. To be alive is to be ever changing. Our cells are renewing, each breath moving us forward, aging us and growing us. Over the years, I have developed a heightened gratitude for the gifts that change in circumstance have taught me, especially circumstance. I have gained so much, in fact, that the roller coaster of change has become to some degree a little less frightening. And as we head into the Thanksgiving week, I hope that we can share the gifts that we have received from change and be thankful for them. I have three things that I'm especially grateful for. Change has made me resilient. I am more comfortable living with ambiguity than I have ever been. Change has caused me to be responsible. I have learned that I create my own luck. And I am one of the luckiest people that I know. I mean, literally, folks. I win things, I find money. And the more I talk about it, we're talking, I've found thousands. Okay, literally money flying on the wind. And the more I talk about it, the more the luck comes. It grows. It's amazing. The final thing that I'm grateful for is the change is the test, the true test of my faith. And for me, I'm a spiritual person. I have faith. And change has strengthened that. Whatever ultimately happens, I have and will endure. And the outcome is just what it's supposed to be. So I grew up in an intellectually inclined household. I was exposed to ideas of self-discovery and developing an identity that might use my gifts to enrich the world. My parents worked on themselves and their marriage and welcomed the kids to participate in the family. My sister and I knew we were loved and supported to be capable and confident. My parents were conscious and deliberate in their parenting roles. And when things got difficult, my parents had the sense to find and use tools to affect changes that needed to happen. It's a pretty big step up, folks. In fact, my family of origin embraces the idea that we can and should continue to grow and change throughout our lives. We are not only subject to, but we are responsible for change. You know, this was important and impressive because my father was severely challenged. He was bipolar, and he had to live with managing his changeable emotional landscape. And he had to use medicine every single day to do that. And when my sister began to display similar symptoms, we were as prepared as we could be. We lived with change in a way that was intimate and exaggerated and demanded responsibility. Traveling during my high school career, I was a traveler. I considered myself to be bi-coastal. I followed the Grateful Dead, and I did this because I was responsible for my own mental health. In a way, it was probably running away, but it was also fun. I worked hard in school, and I played hard. And I took some time away from the stress of my father's illness. Yet in many ways, it was out of the frying pan and into fire. Because along the way, I never knew how I was going to get from one concert to another. I never knew where I was going to sleep, or when I was going to eat, or what that would be, or how that would look, or would I have enough money. Sometimes I didn't know if I had a ticket to the next show. In college, I rented places to live. And I don't know how many of you are still renting or have that experience of how it is to never know the sense of, is that landlord going to ask you to leave? Or the semester's ending and it's time to move on and everything is uprooted and changed. Nothing felt secure and nothing was sure. My favorite place was a summer camp that I rented during college. And during the 2 months of summer, I had to get out. I lived there for 3 years. And every summer I had to find alternative housing for those 2 months. In finding the next place, I received the gift of faith. I believed that my own good fortune and the right place would reveal itself. And in the end, it always did. In my married life, my husband is breadwinner. His skill set isn't quite the perfect match for his chosen career path. And so he finds himself in contract position. And they last for 6 months to a year before they end, and Daryl finds himself looking for work again. For over 20 years, we've lived in a cycle of boom or bust, and change is always on the horizon. And today, as a parent myself, I'm watching and appreciating new gifts from rapid fire change. I could talk about the surreal, seemingly global lockdown from the COVID pandemic that changed the way we lived, worked, and educated our children. I could talk about climate change, regime change, moral and political change. But today, of all days, the topic of change becomes more personal. It becomes supercharged and fully transformational. Tomorrow, my son is changing his body to affirm his gender identity and to gain a peace of mind. He is taking responsibility for becoming the person he is. And I am so grateful that change can happen and that I can change with him. Change does come at a cost. We grieve what is gone, what might have been, and we fear the worst might happen. Last night, there was more gun violence. And today, according to the UUA website is also the Transgender Day of Remembrance. It's an annual observance on November 20th, honoring the memory of those whose lives were lost in acts of anti-transgender violence, like last night. And my son is going there, is transitioning. The UUA holds a virtual worship service each year through Side with Love. And even last night, in the Colorado shooting, more change. Today, I am praying the prayer from the UUA website, Transgender Day of Remembrance Prayer by Sunshine Jeremiah Wolf. On this day, Transgender Day of Remembrance, we remember those who have been murdered for being who they are, those who face violence on a daily basis, those who have lost ones, and those who worry for loved ones. May we come to a time when we cease to shame children around gender roles and expression, when we allow for freedom and exploration of identity and expression, and to a world that operates from love, especially when things are difficult and confusing. May all of us who live with the threat of violence find support, strength, community, hope, and safety from violence. I am so proud of my son for knowing who he is and being the advocate for change in his life. With resilience, faith, responsibility, I appreciate change. And I appreciate change as an opportunity for my personal and for our society. I'd like you to take a minute in your own being and think of changes that have happened in your life. Changes of circumstance, perhaps, that caused you dis-ease, maybe some trepidation of how it was going to turn out. I'd like you to think about changes in attitude that were brought about, however that happened. And I would like you, as you are able, and maybe there's only one or two of you, I'm hoping there's at least one of you who would be willing to share your gratitude, your story of gratitude around change. As you feel so called, please come up here and share with us. So beautiful, Julie, so beautiful. I, like you, love change and love being in change. And a lot of times we make our change by maybe following a group or going to a different country, and we create our change. But then there's times where we don't, where it just smacks us down. But I can honestly say that when that door closes, when that window closes, it doesn't close and just stop there. There's always another one that opens up. If you just open your eyes and see that other path, it's amazing. I have experienced a lot of change lately, like we all have. And I can truly say that I am in one of the best places I've ever been in my life right now because of all these changes. Please come up and share
Your changes. Thank you. Okay.
I can share a little bit. I remember the first time that I walked into this room, having left everything, thriving career in Seattle to come here and practice medicine, and only to be told that the clinic was going to close. I never got to start the original job that I was hired to do. And I remember the story for all ages that was told about the Rainbow Bridge. And it was about a bridge between a people on an island and the mainland. And I just remember feeling like, well, you know, it's a rainbow. It's air, you know, is it really there or is it not? But we see it and it's beautiful. And so I remember just that sense of like, okay, you just stick your foot out and take a step and you hope that the ground is beneath you, that the bridge is there from here to there. And I think I love, Julie, what you said about luck, because I have that sense that, you know, just when you think there's no way out of the situation, suddenly there is, you know. And I don't know if anybody follows free will astrology. It's the astrologer that's in the stranger.
Oh, sure.
Okay, you know, so it's a little out there, but I love it that Unitarianism can embrace all kinds of things. But he has this book called Pronoia, and it's, you know, the universe is conspiring, not against you, but for you, right? Pronoia versus paranoia. And I just love that there's that sense that in the middle of horrible change, that there's something pulling you or loving you back or embracing you through hard things, and, you know, really hard things sometimes, you know, really hard things. Like the last couple of years of Spencer and I's life has been figure out how to live together and love each other when we've got baggage and all of that. And we just keep working on it. But anyway, there we go. The universe is conspiring to bring you joy, believe it or not.
I don't know what I'm going to say, but I think all you know that my life changed dramatically 4.5 years ago. And up until that time, probably still now, like Alex, my life was changed. And it's what motivated and activated and gave me purpose. And that change came every couple of years or sooner, when George would come home with a cable saying that we were assigned to Gaborone, or we were assigned to Kathmandu, or we're moving to La Paz, or we're whatever, and everything changed. But I wasn't feeling responsible for that change because I was one step removed. In other words, as I spoke, George came home with a cable. And then I was faced with making those changes without really having an input in those changes. So your words about being responsible for your change hit me right now as I'm really struggling with the change still, and feeling really stuck in this sort of liminal space, as we've talked a lot about liminal spaces here. Feeling that the impending need for change, but not yet feeling that sort of call or pull from the universe of what that's going to be. So I just thought I'd share that.
I don't want to scare anyone away from sharing. If you have anything to share, we also have choices and concerns. In this ever-changing world, may I come to appreciate change, to grow from change, and to have faith that change can be a tool for good. Amen. We have a little music.
Still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes, turn and face the strain. Changes, don't wanna be a richer man. Changes, turn and face the strain. Changes, it's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. But never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes, turn and face the strain. Changes, don't tell them to grow up out of it. Changes, turn and face the strain. Changes, where the shame you've left is up to her next to it. Time may change me, but you can't twist time. Strange fascination, fascinating. Our changes are taking the pace I'm going through. Changes, and face the strain. Changes, ooh, look out, you rock and rollers. Changes, and face the strain. Changes, pretty soon now you're gonna get older. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I said that time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Thank you, Mr. Bowie. And thank you, Julie, for sort of changing up our normal music. So these are changes, folks. As a caring community, we set aside time to share joys, concerns, sorrows of our lives by speaking briefly from the heart. This is a time to honor the common humanity and sacred spirit in each of us. Now let's take a moment of silence to prepare our hearts for today's joys and concerns. Those among us here are invited to come up and light a candle. If you wish to share your joy or concern publicly, we find that sometimes joys and concerns that are shared aloud lighten the burden of what we carry, or share the joy with all of us. So we appreciate that. Those of you who are on Zoom are invited to type in the chat to Catherine using the comment button. And then Catherine will read your sharing aloud. Thank you. I guess I welcome you to come up and share your joys and concerns. In the sense of Thanksgiving, please join in singing Inside Your Mask or whatever. There is a love. Do we do this a cappella or?
We can do it the video, or we can do it a cappella.
Yeah. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. We're all gathered here, and we're far away for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. I think we sound really good at it. Yeah. As members and friends of the Vashon Island Unitarian Fellowship, we commit to supporting our fellowship. Financial resources help us pay staff and speakers, and to maintain the lights on in this building that we're lucky enough to be leasing. We also engage beyond our walls for peace, social, and economic justice, freedom of belief, and protection of the planet and its inhabitants, and organizations that are in concert with our UU 7, now 8 principles. Is it true that today's contributions are supporting our fellowship here? And so I think that we have some baskets here. Greg went to go get the basket. Thank you, Craig. But I think that while we're doing that, preparing that, I think we should be singing our "There Is a Love," which I kind of like. Yeah, thanks, Ben. Yeah. You could have told me early. But I think that too, we can probably do a cappella as we share our love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that we are done. There is a love holding all. I rest this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we are done. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your time, yourselves, your memories, bits and pieces that were quite personal today, and thank you. And your thoughts around change with our community, our beloved community. Living comes with change, and I'm glad that we have each other now in these wild and changing times. And I hope we can all learn to be, as Julie has guided us, more comfortable with ambiguity because it is always with us. And I hope we can maintain that flexibility and positive outlook as we position ourselves to accept, internalize, and move with the changes that come upon us. Alex, do you have a reading to extinguish the challenge? Thank you.
This is a poem by Robert Frost, Nothing Gold Can Stay. Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay.
Oh, we have another good song. Thank you. I know what's coming next.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times that I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna
Thank you, Mr. Cook. This concludes our service. But I want to remind you that we still have time for a few announcements. I regret that we don't have a sharing time for talk and refreshments. And I'm just hoping that we can reinstitute that soon because I miss it. And I miss that time and I really miss Earl God food.
I do want to let people know that the Burton Coffee stands open. They have wonderful pastries and it's safe to gather for those of you that feel so inclined. We can support our local.
Thank you. Are there some announcements?
You guys are welcome to stay, just we don't have food for you. So party doesn't end just because this is over. My name is Catherine. I'm going to give you a quick couple updates. The board is in contract negotiations with Victoria Polling. Y'all may have remembered her from a couple weeks ago. So the minister search group said, yes, we like her. And so now the board is working with her to make sure that we compensate her fairly for her new position and with others. And so keep an eye out. It has to be in all, I don't know, I say it wrong. The membership has to approve this decision. And so it's going to be like a membership meeting 2.0 kind of. We need a consensus and everyone says, yes, we want to do this. So that's probably going to be December 11th. We'll make sure it's in the newsletter, but mark your calendar now. And then we're hoping that she'll start January 1st. And so she would be preaching in the pulpit for 9 times through the remainder of this year, I think. I don't know. Really, I'm not good with the details. But anyways, we're making progress. Yay. The other thing that we're looking to change is the order of service, right? The piece of paper. It's important. People like that piece of paper, but it's a lot of work to print out that little piece of paper. And pre-COVID, we had this whole little system in place, and then that went to pot. And so we're revisiting, do we need this little piece of paper? And I appreciate that people like those kinds of things because I'm a person that likes a piece of paper, but maybe we should make a generic order of service that you can reference it with some information on the back. And then, because we kind of keep the same flow, if you've been here more than once, you know that. We'll change up the music and so we'll let you know every service. So keep an eye out for that with all the other changes that are coming up, one of them too.
Thank you. Other announcements? Yeah. So speaking of change, Anne mentioned last week that it wasn't wonderful that there was no change in the Senate and that there is a 50-50 tie, but we have an opportunity for a 50-51 tie. And I have 5 packets of postcards, 20 each, and they need to be mailed by Thanksgiving Eve, which is next Wednesday. So raise your hand.
How many names are in each?
20. So there's 20.
Yeah.
Yes, we're not them. And
But they're going to,
well, they're going to Georgia.
yeah.
They're going to Georgia.
The people who have registered to vote and getting them out.
We are not, as a 501c3 church, in a position to represent any certain stance or position or candidate. So all of the cards that we write are simply get out to vote. So, thank you all. Sorry, Marilyn, you didn't get one.
Okay, I have. Oh, please go ahead.
I have the same announcement I had last week, which is November 30th, which is 10 days from now. The Homeless Council has a dinner that I'm asking you to try to contribute to, and the choices are casserole or main dish, like a salad dish, or a dessert. And I will pick them up from you, and I will return your dish to you. So you don't even have to come to the Methodist Church and deliver anything at a particular time. Please let me know if you can contribute.
So I'll pick up where you left off. A little blurb in the Beachcomber said that we are having the in-person, what my friend Carl Dean told me about many years ago. He said, you need the Orphans Thanksgiving. And it's going to resurrect because it's in person again at the Eagles. Just show up at 2 o'clock, bring your friends. This last year, there were 7 people there, and it was pretty awful. In fact, I made my Thanksgiving meal a couple of days ago, thanks to the IGA, who put a tiny little turkey breast stuffed, and I cooked it right. And I've been playing Thanksgiving since 3 days ago. But tell people, and if you want to, if you find somebody who's really home and nobody else has found a way of bringing a meal to them, give me a call and I'll pick up a dinner at the Eagles and bang on their door.
I wanted to tell you about Saturday, December 3rd. Our very own Amy Huggins will be back from her month-long in India. And it's really, she's going to tell us about some things and what she experienced. And I've been doing a practice where I just try to sit still for 7 minutes and don't say anything, don't move, and I do a timer, and I've been trying to do that every day. It's incredible how hard it is at first, but then the things that come to you, I highly encourage you to give it a try. Sit outside, bundle up and sit outside and just things you hear, and it's really miraculous. But she's been doing this for 4 weeks. She will have finished 4 weeks when she came here. Most of it is in silence. And she has been led by different, people at this Center for Enlightenment. So come and let's be enlightened by Amy here, December 3rd. It will be in the newsletter. I just wanted to let you know about it from 3 to 5, around starting at 3 o'clock.
So next week, Shauna Ahern will be our presenter. And Julie, it's on kindness, right?
I need to double check.
Okay, yeah, I just checked for wording, but I'm pretty sure that it's on kindness. It's something she's been talking a lot about out in the community. And it was fun. I ran into Paul Kirkpatrick on the ferry, and he's going to be our script person, which is a really nice welcome thing. So join us next week.
I just got a text from Kate, who reminds us to sign in at the sheet of paper over there. Evidently, we're keeping track. Membership is keeping track. And so don't forget. Thank you.
I just think it's so awkward the way we haven't figured out a way to finish this. I'm really, really sorry. Yes, we can. I think we can sing Go Now and I love that. All right. So we'll sing it to each other. Go now and peace, go now and peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may
Yeah.